I'm actually looking forward to going into this list, to be honest, because he brought a little flavor. You know, something that I always talk about if you've seen it around here. If you don't know, we're going to go over every matchup that he has. I give my opinion about it, and I wish sometimes I had context, but I don't always do, right? Let's go over his list real quick. It has some of our favorites. Kaptain Badrukk for that flash gets bomb. We love the rerolls. We love the ammo runs for its lethal. And the flash gets Kaptain Badrukk combo is actually a 2-phase unit because flash gets get a ton of punches for strength 5. We have Mozrog always being annoying. He might actually go up in points, so treasure him now. Beastboss on foot, really good at killing monsters and vehicles. Not much magic with cunning but brutal. This is something we talked about in the enhancement video that I actually do like this on this unit because the Lancet capability makes it so you can enjoy that unit. You really want to get up for charges. Then we have 2 war bosses. We all love the war bosses because they're great for their value. 2 units of Beast Snagga boys. The flash gets 2 units of Gretchen. Love that OC. And then 2 small, what I call scalpel units or 5-man units of knobs with power claws, right? But I call them a scalpel unit because this 5-man unit is going to get out there and just gut out the enemy problematic unit. Usually it's a power armored unit or some kind of durable infantry unit. Maybe so knobs like to go on there, put the good strength and volume and damage 2 into them. You have the Storm Boys for the scoring potential, of course. And then only 1 unit Quick Hog Boys. What I love here is they actually have a kill rig. Yeah, for that. Most likely, I'm hoping, maybe not, but the Beast Snagga Boys unit with the Beastboss. And then even if you don't, you have all these other transports. You have the flash gates going on one. You could possibly put both knobs and the war bosses into 1 truck unit and then put the other Beast Snagga Boy unit into that. So I assume the Beast Snagga Boy with the Beastboss might actually just go into a normal truck, and then the other Beast Snagga Boy without a character goes into the kill rig. I love the kill rig. Kill rig's so slept on, you guys. It's one of those multi-phase units. I understand 200 points is a little too much money out of pocket. Sometimes he takes he's too easily shot off the table, but as you can see here, this guy went to a GT with it and ended up going undefeated with something that people would call a garbage unit or not meta unit, but I say it all the time. The kill rig is one of those units that's multi-phase, as in he's going to transport for you, he's going to fight in combat with you, he's going to shoot for you, and he's going to give you a buff capability during the fight phase where you could pick a unit, give it more strength, and possibly lethal. So that's really nice. Kill rig is slept on all the time. Everybody loves the free last cannon that can auto hit. So let's look at some of his matchup like we always like to, right? So his first matchup is Chaos Knights. We have the Chaos Knight Rampager. Remember, Knights can actually with the strat just jump through those buildings, so even though he's a big unit, a vehicle with a big base, he actually can run up and kill things. He held like 1-shot Mozrog, no problem. We got War Dog Brigand, another Brigand, another Brigand, another Brigand. Okay, a bunch of Brigands pretty much. And then a bunch of Carnivores, the typical matchup. Only 1 unit of Nurglings, and then the Blue Scribe for some secondary potential. I know Carnivores do punch pretty well. The Brigands can be quite annoying for Orks, but once we really get up on them, they're not, they do go down quite easily, and they have no fighting potential. To me, this becomes a skill matchup and a mission matchup in this Chaos Knights. I'm not going to say it's an easy matchup for Orks. This person is obviously a really skilled player, but just know, in my opinion, going in, you just need to be on your P's and Q's when going into Chaos Knights and the Chaos Knights dog spam. They do have great OC. They do have the potential to pop your transports with all these Brigands. If the Carnivores get their charges off, they could definitely kill some of your elite infantry and such. The Rampager, like I said, could kill your Maz, but we do have all the tools for killing them as well. It really just does come down to the mission and the player skill. So with that said, I'm just going to move into the second list. So great job winning there. He ended up getting a straight W. If you guys don't know, this is WTC, so this is why the scoring is like this. We have straight perfect scoring to them. Great job there. Now we're going to go into the Adeptus Mechanicus. I actually took a couple notes here, so if you see me looking a little dodgy with my eyes, because I'm reading some notes, because with the time of this filming or playing of this live video, because we do it live, it's a new codex. People don't really know what's going on, and it seems like they figured themselves out or across the meta as a whole. So we're starting with several Tech Priest Dominis. So with the Tech Priest Dominus, what they do, give me a second, make sure I didn't mess this up. The Tech Priest Dominus will actually give a unit a feel no pain of a 5-up, and if it's electric unit, they actually get a 4-up feel no pain. At the start of the fight phase, they pick an enemy vehicle unit that's within engagement range, and on the 4+, it takes D6 mortal wounds, and it loses -1 to the enemy's weapon skill, worsens by 1. So yes, it says vehicle unit. So he hates vehicles, but other than that, he's giving feel no pains to the electro priests that are going to be on this list. As you can see, there's a couple of them with enhancements. Then you have the Manipulus. What the Manipulus does is when he's leading a unit, he gives them the lethal ability, and he actually gives them the capability to have a 4-up invuln. So that's a durability increase and an offensive capability increase. And then last but not least, we we have the Techno Archaeologist. He had 1 to objective secure, and he has a screening of a 12-inch. Units cannot be set up within 12 inches of him. So he's screening out 12-inch aura. Really great for him. The Electro Priests themselves, just so you know, normally have a 5-up Feel No Pain. As we look at the Tech Priest the Electro Priest going forward, so they have a 4-up. This is their straight battle line. Battle line actually quite useful in Adeptus Mechanicus, as some of these data sheets actually have abilities that are only able to be used if they're within a certain range of a battle line unit. So the player is actually going to be smart usually in some cases and keep that battle line unit hidden, but within range of his other units so he can get some stuff off, right? So we have the multiple of these transports real quick. I assume that's where some of these Electro Priests are going. You can see he has 2 bricks with these Electro Priests. These Electro Priests are a little bit tricky because of their Feel No Pain. They have, let me see this real quick. Yeah, the Electro Priests, I was looking at them because they're a little annoying. Electro Priests, in the shooting phase, we have actually these little pistols that are sustained too, but in the shooting phase, they give you -2 to your movement and subtract your advance and charge. Yeah, if they shoot you with those pistols, it's kind of annoying. They just get a volume of just shots what they have, and they have that durability of a 4-up invuln. Orks can still deal with them because they're T3 and you put enough volume, but everybody knows how 4-up and Feel No Pain can go. So they might just hold their ground, and those gauntlets are pistols, so they continue to shoot you, like I've said several times, with great volume of strength 5. And no AP from what I've seen. Then we have the Iron Striders. Everybody knows what the last cannons do. We have the Cataphract Preachers. These guys are actually anti-armor based off how he has them with the arc rifle. So they're anti-vehicle 4 plus at 30 inches, rapid fire 2. The one thing I want to point out about these Cataphract Breachers, if you face them, is that they are T7 infantry, which is a little bit odd. But like we were talking about, that's where knobs with their scalpel unit come into play with their strength 9, -2 to start destroying these kind of units if they can. When these guys can innately reroll hit rolls of 1, but if they're within 6 inches of 1 or more Adeptus Mechanicus battle line units, they reroll the whole hit roll. So that's what I was talking about earlier with what the usefulness of battle line is here. So you can see he has 2 of those. He have the Skyhawkers or whatever. These guys are their version of jetpack guys for scoring. They too can move 6 inches, kind of like a reactive move, but they actually if they're within 6 inches or a certain range of battle line units, they get to move again, 12 inches instead. But they cannot charge after they do that. Just wanted to say that. Then we have these Sidonian Dragoons with Radium. I don't want to say that, but I can say the word, but pretty much it's like these little sniper rifles. It's kind of weird. So they get 1 shot with these 36-inch rifles. They're heavy, but they're also precision anti-infantry 3+, -2 flat 3 damage. So like I've said several times, some orc characters are just potato soft, like hard, soft boiled potato soft. So let's say something like a knob with wall banner. I think he's about 3 wounds exactly. He can get sniped by one of these guys. Let's see, a pain boy is about 3 wounds. I know he has to Feel No Pain, but you can see he has a couple of these guys. So you do have to be a little careful. And then like I want to talk about with Gaz is he's not on this matchup with this person, but keep in mind if you face this with Gaz, if he shoots at your Gaz, he can actually target Gaz instead of Makari. If he puts wounds into Gaz, then that means you'll not have access to Makari's 2+ invuln. So he actually gets to bypass it if he ever targets Gaz again, because he'll have to start directly taking the wounds from the unit, because that's how that rule works. And then we have the Sidonian Dragoons with taser lances. They're just good melee profiles, but again, there's just individual anti-infantry vehicles that are T7 with like 7 wounds. They're low enough toughness that orcs can actually beat them up with certain things. So I'm not actually mad about that. So I just wanted to go over that real quick. I don't know exactly how meta this is, but that was just me just quickly go over just giving you some knowledge about Adeptus Mechanicus. Do I think they could be tough for orcs going forward? I'm really not sure. I want to say no, but only the numbers will tell when we go on. So great job there, Andreas Holm. Then his third matchup, we have David Klang. Sorry about that, buddy. So you have the Necrons Canoptic Court. At the point of this, we do have the changes so that the Immortals don't have access to that devastating bomb anymore. Well, so if you guys are watching this in the future, I'm aware of this going into this, but at the point of this GT happening, they had access to that still. So we have the Chronomancer, a Catan Shard, the Nightbringer, the Void Dragon. So one's just, remember, these guys are actually pretty small besides the Void Dragon, so they can actually hide. They do move quite slow, but just know they're coming in as that Necron kind of turn 3. It kind of with their version of a hammer or annoying durability also as well, because they did get an increase to their damage of like, because it used to be D6, now it's D6 plus 2 from what I understand. The Void Dragon is good at killing vehicles. We have the Overload, Transcendence Counts, Technomancer, and then another Transcendence Catan. Here's the Mortal Wound Bomb that we were talking about. Teslas in themselves are sometimes decent to Ork because they're strength 5. We do have better armor saves than back in the day, though. We have a Canoptic Doomstalker, some Scarab Swarms, 2 units of Canoptic Wraiths. A lot of armies having issues with these guys. I think Orks don't necessarily have a huge issue because we're one of the few armies that can actually one-shot this unit as a whole, or withstand their punches too and just kind of hold the objective. Throw Grots on it, throw all these other units that kind of beat them on OC, not be mad. Squig Hog Boys can do it. Knobs with their Scalpel unit can do it. Beast Snagga Boys with a certain amount of volume can hurt these guys because their strength can get up to strength 6. We have Locust Heavy Destroyer and then 1 Tomb Blade unit. So yeah, I think this sometimes is a meta bully in some cases, but Orks actually do well into it. I've always thought that, and we have the data sheets for that. So great job there. Hit 17 points up on there. So he's doing great. He's slowly going down 20, 18, 17. So as he's going up and getting better higher into the events and competition, his score is going down, but he's still winning quite decisively. Then he goes into a fellow Ork in this one. So let's go over the fellow Ork list. So we have a Big Mech. I believe this player ended up going 3-2, by the way, just so you guys know. So he ended up losing the last 2 games against this player, and then he lost his next game as well. So he has a Big Mech Omega armor with Cunning but Brutal. We all know why, because because Mega Knobs with the Big Mech and Mega armor don't do enough damage to be scared of being touched. So you have to have the ability to fall back. We have Boss Zagstruck. I think he's one of the slept on characters. He's just in a weird spot where you're like, Storm Boys kind of suck, and if I run him by himself, I don't know if I want to just add him when I could just add other units. But he is great. We might end up seeing him more often on lists. He fights really good. He's a good durability because he's a built-in feel no pain. And sometimes by himself, he just crumps stuff. He's like a flying war boss, pretty much. So we have Gazgul Magurathroka. I think Gaz is great. I love his 3 lethal buff that Makari gives. I really do. And we have Kaptain Badrukk. Let me talk about the flash kits with the knobs. With the flash kits and the Kaptain Badrukk for the rerolls. We know they're pretty much knobs, so they're strength 5. They get a boatload of punches on their own. We have the knobs on Smash a Squig with Edwapus Kill Chopper. My favorite way to run the Edwapus Kill Chopper relic because it's a data shade ability. 3 up automatically goes off. The Pain Boss right here. Follow me, lads. I do like the follow me, lads, to get around the table more. The 5 Feel No Pain, we know about that. Zagrot, read the Scotty capability of that bomb. We have 1 unit of bomb. We have 1 bomb of Beast Snagga Boys, the whole brick for that 5 of Feel No Pain. 1 truck, the flash kits, the brick of Grot, small unit Grots, a big unit, what I would consider a big unit, of Mega Knobs with the twin kill saws, another unit of it, but this is just a 2-man unit for Gas. 3-man unit Squig Hog Boys. 3-man unit Squig Hog Boys are totally viable. MSU, they skirmish great, good OC. I just think you would want at least 1 brick on there so you can reliably deliver the Edwapus Kill Chopper and get the most out of your knob. Then we have 2 Storm Boys, which is for scoring. So there's a quite decent, well-rounded list. Like I said, I just kind of like condensed 2 of those units, in my opinion, into 1. He did good. People sometimes sleep on the Pain Boss. He's totally excellent, but Orks can go either way. We don't know the mission, and war bosses and what their capabilities are on one-on-one really does matter too. So, great job, Martin. Shout out to fellow war boss. But great job to Andreas for winning that one and pulling that one out against a quite relevant, good Ork list. And then to round it off on his final matchup, he went into another Chaos Knight list, but this time the main character was just a War Dog Stalker. He has all the Brigands like before. He has all the Carnivores, but he has more Nurglings and the Blue Scribe. I think the Nurglings are what kept that possibly lower, or maybe just the mission itself. The Nurglings can be used to kind of get in the way and move block you, become quite annoying and such. So yeah, but that, like I said, that's one of those matchups that can go either way with the playing of the character. So great job by Andreas Holm. With his unit, with his army. He has, the multiple war bosses that I love to see for the multiple scalpel units, the Beast Boss for the reliable dev wounds. And just the one thing I wanted to point out is this is one of the only lists I've ever seen the entire edition that did not run Edwapus Kill Chopper and did so well to go undefeated. So I just wanted to say that. Not only did he jump out of the meta to use the kill rig, but he also jumped out of the meta and not use Edwapus Kill Chopper. He still enjoyed dev wounds because he still had the war boss. The Beast Boss on foot and Mozrog, but I just wanted to say that he somehow found this to be more useful as Cunning but Brutal, or maybe he just had the points. Maybe he just all the points he had for. I really greatly appreciate you get war for Andreas Holm for his undefeated win at Defcon GT.